What's good, YouTube? I know it's been a minute since I got at y'all. You know, it's been kind of busy for me lately. Last time we talked, I was working on my electric motorcycle bill. You know, and that's been put to a halt temporarily because of the pandemic. But I'll be getting back to that soon. I still wanted to get at y'all today, talk to y'all about something else though, something more on a more serious level than the fun level. Today I want to talk to y'all about genealogy and DNA tests. A lot of people been online lately doing these ancestry DNA tests. They under the belief that they can be told what tribe they possibly are from, or where on the planet their ancestors may have originated. And you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just false. DNA tests cannot provide those kind of answers. The only way you can get those kind of answers is doing the actual footwork of genealogy research. You can't be lazy and just send off a sample of spit to someone else or some stranger and be told what tribe your ancestors or you possibly belong to, or where on the planet that you or your ancestors originated. That's just false. And to be honest, DNA tests only, I believe, like a tenth of 1% accurate. Not even a half of 1%, a tenth of 1% accurate. That's pretty low. All right, so moving on. I want to talk to y'all about genealogy. I've been doing my family research for quite some time now, and I've got not only family tree that I constructed, actual several copies of this family tree. Because you know, once you start working on the family tree, it's not something that you'll do once and then that's just it. It's something you'll do over and over, because just like a tree that you plant in your yard, the tree will actually grow. So it will go from a few branches to a lot of branches, and you'll do this tree several times, adding new ancestors that you find during your research. So basically, this is the only way you can find out possibly what tribe you or your ancestors may have belonged to. This is the only way you could possibly find out what part of the planet that you or your recent common ancestors may have originated, through genealogy. Not being lazy, doing the footwork. So here I have my family tree. I'm not going to zoom in very close. I don't even have a light on because I don't want to just give up all my information like that. But as you can see, this is a maternal and paternal tree where I'm just showing myself and my maternal and paternal ancestors. All right, so basically doing the research and the footwork of genealogy research is more than just spitting in the tube. You have to talk to your ancestors, your living ancestors. You start with your mom and your dad, and possibly your grandma and your granddad if they're still living, and you ask them about their ancestors. If your grandmother or your grandfather is still living, why not ask them who were their grandmothers and grandfathers? You could jump so far ahead, you'd be amazed of how much information you could get from living ancestors. And once you've exhausted all those sources, from that point you may start to look up other records on your own by using the information you already have. You can use sites like freefamilysearch.org is one I like to use because it's free. Ancestry is a good one to use also to do genealogy research, where they charge you a subscription and you can get a lot of those same records off freefamilysearch.org. So, and that's the one I mainly use. I have used Ancestry when I first got into genealogy, but as I learned about doing genealogy research, I learned that there were free sites that could help me just as well. So I started using freefamilysearch.org, and I'm not getting paid by them or anything. I'm just passing along information. So when I got all the answers I could from my living ancestors, the next thing I did was got online and did a little footwork and a little research on my own with information I already had. And basically I started printing out records of my ancestors, census records, birth certificates, death certificates, marriage license, obituaries, anything I can get my hands on, whether it was online, I printed it out, or whether it was I grabbed it from elders and my ancestors, like obituaries and death certificates that they actually had on file. I've even got military records. I have 4 notebooks full of family records, basically my pedigree, where I originate, where I come from, and like I say, all of these are important documents, and they should be saved and cherished and passed along through generations. So basically, when I look at my family tree doing genealogy research, I've got records in these census records, birth certificates, death certificates, dating back as far as the early 1800s. And when I look at my tree, and yes, I'm a person of color, some people would refer to as black or African American. I refer myself as neither African American nor black, because I know my true history, I know my true identity. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Amerindian, an Aboriginal. Yeah. They tell us slavery ended in 1865. Well, when I look at my family tree and I go all the way up to my third great grands, my great grandmothers and great grandfathers, all of them was free people of color. Everybody on my entire family tree were free people of color. Nothing else. No Africans. Nothing else. Now, these records go as far back as 1818 in some parts. Like my great granddaddy Thomas Isom, a free person of color from South Carolina. You know, like I say, they tell us slavery ended in 1865. He was born in South Carolina, and his parents were also. And if he was a free person of color, he was born free. His parents was free. And that's 47 years before the so-called ending of slavery. And like I say, all of my ancestors, some dating 1820, others dating 1851, others dating 1819, all were free people of color. No one was slaves. Now on their census records that I printed out and saved, you see their classification change several times on the same ancestors over a period of 10, 20, 40, 50 years. You'll see them change from black, the Negro, to non-white, to color, to even mulatto. And I can sit here and prove it to you. And I know what that's all about. And I'm sure some of you do also. But I basically just wanted to holler at you guys about the importance of doing genealogy. It's actually much. I see these people demonstrating how excited they are when they get their pseudo-science test results back from the DNA companies. And you know, and I'm looking at it like, you know, this is a bunch of nonsense. They should only see the excitement that you find in genealogy when you find a new ancestor to add to your tree, like Bill James and Catherine Sanford, mother and father of Willis James. You know, that's powerful when you find information like that to add to your tree, because these are facts, nothing that a DNA test could give you. Now, you can, you know, put out a little bit of sweat and do the work and get this kind of information like I have. Well, like I said, you could just spit in the tube and send it off and let a stranger tell you whatever he or she wants you to believe. I prefer to put in the work myself. I feel much more satisfied when I do the investigative work and I uncover ancestors, and I can go back to my living ancestors and show them what I have found. I get much more satisfaction out of that than sitting back waiting for some pseudo-science test tube result to tell me that I'm from somewhere that I have no attachment to. So it's up to you, DNA or genealogy. If you ask me, I say genealogy. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I see y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks.